I'll be calling you a radical. Say it ain't so, little Joe. Say it ain't so, little Joe. Still poisoning the entire environment. Say it ain't so, little Joe. Say it ain't so, little Joe. Say it ain't so, little Joe. What did Michael Landon die of? From where? Filming in the Utah desert? My murder, that was classified. My uncle says, you come talk to me. That's my dad, 1951. Right after coming out of the cages, they caged them. Just like they did the USS Reagan. It's all out now. Say it ain't so, Joe. Rocky Flats. Commenter number 19. Say it, 1990. Commenter number 19. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so, Joe. They didn't really radiate their own men willingly again. They didn't fucking give a death sentence to all the USS Reagan sailors and their offspring for time. They didn't do that again. Say it ain't so, little Joe. Hoss Cartwright. It's all out now. It's all out now. They murdered my father. They murdered my father. Put him in a cage. So Obama, it's being released now. They're admitting. Hoss Cartwright. Hoss Cartwright. Operation fucking Olympic. Operation Olympiad. Operation 20. Now, Holden fucked up. Now I can tell the tale. I have a tell the tale. How fucking these evil men, they hit it so fucking well. And the American sheep went along. I have a tale to tell. And I'm telling it. I was given a death sentence, just like him, in the fall of 2011. It's going to give leukemia. They tried to murder me. The United States government murdered my father. Special Forces Marine, my uncle, stood on my beach in D-Day, off in that house right there. Where'd you sleep last night, Kevin? Don't you lie to me. Where did you sleep? I slept in the dead fucking pines with the sun from fucking Fukushima, Japan. My trees all fucking died in 2013. This corporate welfare fucking dairy farmer right here poisoned my whole ditch. My dogs are buried right there. They both died of leukemia. I'm going to have to abandon my property. I got leukemia, given a death sentence of 20. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it's not so, Joe. Say it's not so, Joe. Say it's not so, little Joe. Say it ain't, little Joe. It's been released now. Holden really fucked up. As I've reported in detail. The greatest crime in human history. So now I can talk. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so, little Joe. Say it ain't so, little Joe. Say it ain't so, little Joe. Hoss Cartwright. March 11th or 12th. It was probably 12th, right after midnight. 2011. Make it so! Yeah, that guy. The same guy. The same guy. Pled guilty to the... We're going to put him under the prison. We find out, oh, it's my most trusted confidant. Barack Obama. My most trusted confidant. What? There's a program called Operation Olympia to kill nuclear scientists and physicists in Iran, to murder them. Somebody leaked that. We're going to Aaron Swartz them. We're going to put them under the prison. What? It's Hoss Cartwright. Hoss Cartwright. Inside the Situation Room, John Holden, just as Kevin Blanch has reported. 4:45 p.m. Let me go get it. Say it ain't so, Joe. 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 They really, really, knowingly fucking nuked the fuck out of the country. Genocided the Pacific Ocean. Fucking nuked the fuck out of the whole fucking world. Say it ain't so, Joe. They didn't murder him. They didn't murder her. They didn't try to make a sequel out of me. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so, little Joe. Say it ain't so, little Joe. They wouldn't do that. Commenter number 19, Black Sox. Black Sox on chemo. Say it ain't so, little Joe, on chemo. Say it ain't so. Our own government wouldn't do this to us. John Holden. 4:45 p.m. Obama immediately convened in the senior team Situation Room. This is the 11th of March. So you wake up and you learn the news of the Fukushima disaster had happened. We learned about 2 o'clock in the afternoon by communication from U.S. and senators in Japan that this was underway. Obama immediately convened in the senior team in the Situation Room, and he and the ambassador on the screen. We had a brainstorming session. That was the way the U.S. could help. I went into a little after 2 in the afternoon. We stayed till 11 at night. And when I went home at 5 after midnight, the phone rings in the Situation Room saying, we're going to continue this afternoon's discussion by conference call starting in 10 minutes. I was in touch with the chairman of the Japanese Atomic Energy Commission by Saturday midday, by phone. By Saturday, Chu and I, Stephen Chu was the Secretary of the Energy at the time, were in the process of setting up an advisory body counting leading experts in controlling reactor accidents. Controlling accidents, controlling the information, where they were the industry, government, and university. The panel met every day for typically 2 hours in the next 3 to 4 weeks, brainstorming ways to deal with the accident. They virtually every night we had in touch by phone and the leaders of the Japanese efforts to share the latest ideas and the latest reports of the degree of the contentious at the very high. What were the major ways the U.S. government aided in the Fukushima response? One was sharing lots of insights on where the vulnerabilities in the accident were underway and they could be done to minimize danger. Number 2, working with questions where the radioactivity was going. What could be delivered to the people in different places? One of the things very quickly we figured out that Tokyo was not in danger and it was not necessary therefore to evacuate the U.S. Remember, the wind was blowing out for 6 days. Or to issue any other American citizens in Tokyo to leave. Now, you know my data. We proved that to be a total lie. We had a long interaction with the Japanese about evacuation zones where the plume was going. They knew. We had better models than the Japanese did. We were robots and we were designed... robots. We know the robots never got in. We know that the first robot, United States or Japanese, just melded. We know this is all cover up. Now here's the smoking gun. A U.S. nuclear-powered aircraft carrier was only 50 kilometers off the Japanese coast when this happened. And the first video conference, March 11th, the U.S. ambassador said to the Japanese, we would like your permission to use the USS Reagan to the Japanese rescue helicopter and refuel them because the aircraft carrier, which is close to the scene, for the aircraft helicopter, blah, 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 to refuel and refresh. There was a discussion in the Situation Room about this within 2 hours of this meeting, March 11th. The vice chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff sent an order from the Situation Room. Make it so. Who's the vice chairman of at the time? Cartwright. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so, Joe. They knew. They knew. Obama, March 17th, 2011. After all these meetings and all these hearings, the plume was coming over here. The wind was blowing out for the first 6 days. Then they got water on it, just pushed into the Pacific Ocean. We took the brunt here in the United States. It's hotter in New York City than it ever was in Tokyo. But we have the data. It's South Japan, in Okinawa. We have it all. Fucking Rachel put it out. I put it into the domain. She was scared to put it out. But we did it anyway. We finally did it. Independent lab studies all over southern Japan for 1.5 years. Still that way. Say, hotter than fuck. Look at the data. My work's empirical. The genocide of the Pacific Ocean. Say it ain't so, little Joe. 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 They didn't do it again. I got cancer in fall 2011. I was uninsured. University of one of these technology teams, it was wise, blackballed me, took my degrees and everything. They said, you can't spew this stuff. I got cancer in the fall of 2011, leukemia, by the government. We know it plumed right here harder than anyone. I was up in the Birch Creek fucking working on an attorney's house at the time I got cancer. Thought I had a fucking, standing right to this square inch of ground, thought I had food poisoning. Due to speak at Zuccotti Park that fucking next day. Getting ready to get on the plane, thought I had food poisoning. Ambulance fucking comes. Misdiagnosed in the hospital over and over and over. Finally, after the 3rd time, fucking rat doctor sending me home to die. Vincent Hansen, lifelong friend. Kevin, I've known you since boy. That's bone marrow biopsy. You know, both my brother and father died of thyroid cancer. We grew up in central Utah. When I was a boy, I watched him die at 14. Both of them of thyroid cancer. Downwinder, I know your work. I know everything. I've known you since you was a child. Ixodes de novo AML leukemia. By the way, the news reporter at Fox just died of the exact identical disease I had, the lower right mesentery. It's called AML leukemia. motherfucker. I don't even know what to do at this point.